Welcome to Doron Yoga, everyone. Today we'll do a class that doesn't involve so much the hands, the wrists, maybe even the arms. So if anything there is painful, injury, not great, you can do this class today. So either way, if there's still anything else you need to modify, please do. We'll still try to keep somewhat of the sequence of the Doron Yoga, but obviously we'll modify quite a bit. So we'll start here standing. Take a moment, close your eyes, take just 2 deep breaths. Connect with your breath. Connect the feet on the ground. Becoming present, releasing the mind. Softly as you open the eyes, you connect with the present moment. You see what you're seeing. You have your drishti on. Taking the feet a little wider, about hip width or so. Begin to circle with the knees and ankles and feet, warming up the base, the groundedness, the roots. The other direction, please. Cool. Coming to neutral, hips. Be generous with the movement of the hips. Other direction. Back to neutral. Shoulders. Other direction. Cool. I'm going to go and do some head and neck. Other direction. And to neutral. Keep the feet as they are. Take the right arm up and go over to the left side. Side stretch. Inhale, come up. And exhale, release. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, side stretch to the other side. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Beautiful, everybody. We're going to do a few of the wave. Feet about hip width apart. Bend the knees a lot. Shift the hips forward. Belly forward, chest, head last. Do a few rounds of this. Go at your pace. And back to standing, somewhat of our delicious pose standing. We're going to do half sun salutes. We're going to do the Yekam Dvei Trini. We'll do that a few times. So try to follow along. We'll skip the part of going down to Chaturanga. Finding Samastitihi. Inhale, arms up over the head. Exhale, forward fold. It's okay to bend the knees. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold again. Inhale, rise all the way up. Arms over the head, see your hands. Exhale, Samastitihi. 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana, Samastitihi. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, arms up. Exhale slowly. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up. Exhale, samastitihi. Very nice, everybody. We're going to do a little more warm up here. So we're going to take the right leg, right knee up. We'll do this with knee bend. Some of you can do it with a straight leg, that's fine. Hands can be either just relaxing or on the hips. We're going to start with circles with the knee. Breathing, steady gaze, steady mind. Pause, reverse direction. Pause, the other leg. Pause, reverse. Beautiful. Release. Okay. Keep the feet maybe even a little wider than your hips. Now we're going to do now again just a bit more to warm up. Going to lift the right heel off the ground. Reach with your right arm and back. Lift the left heel. Reach with the left arm and back. This time, right arm becomes, if you can, fist. It's good to strengthen the wrists and the hands, even if you're not putting pressure on that. And a little lower, reach. And then back. And then left heel. And the left arm reaches. Here we go, going at your pace. Starting right up and down. Left and down. Right and back. Left and back. A few more times slow. And down. And keep going. If you want, speed it up a tiny bit. Three more. One more. And release. Shake it away. Beautiful, everybody. Let's take a break. We'll rest in Utkatasana. Lower the hips back and down. Arms up. Again, if it's not working for you today, arms for any reason, you can keep the hands here, even on your knees. Doesn't matter. If you can, arms up. If you want to challenge yourself, heels up. Lower the hips a bit back and down. Breathe. If the knees move towards each other, it's a bit safer and a bit harder as well. See if you can. Back up to stand. Release. Shake it away. Beautiful. Samastitihi. Gonna step the left foot back. You're in a high lunge and we're gonna lower the left knee to the ground. Low lunge. Again, hands can be anywhere. They can just be hanging here. For most of us, it's just a bit of wrist pain and putting the hands on the hips is completely not a problem. But even here, let's say it is your wrist, you can reverse and stretch your wrist. If your hands are in pain and just nothing feels good in your hands and wrist, just let the hands hang. It's fine. Really, we're stretching the psoas here more than anything else. Lift a bit in the belly, a bit in the chest. Relax the shoulders. Connect with Ujjayi breath. Cool. Lift the back knee off the ground. And again, you can keep the hands here. Some of you can lift up to high lunge. Maybe the arms up, maybe not. Your choice. Just take a few breaths. If you want even a little bit of a back bend, I'm going to bend my elbows. Feels better. Completely relaxing the hands. Hands back to the heart. Steady the mind. Step it forward. And release. Good news, there's another side. There we go, stepping the right foot back. I know we normally step the right foot back first, but today this way we start like we normally do. Lower the right knee down with the right foot first forward and then the left, just in case you're really noticing the details. Sinking down. Exactly, you can put the hands like this, you can do some wrist circles, we'll do plenty of these. Nice, staying with breath, staying with drishti, lift the back knee off the ground. Maybe staying here, maybe arms up, your choice. Again, a little back bend, little shoulder stretch. If it's too much, just keep the hands at the heart or on the hips. Hands back to the heart. Steady, hips forward. Knee follows and release. Beautiful. Shake. And we're going to go again. Left foot back, this time into a warrior. So set it up, bend the front knee, hips to the front. As before, if it's just hands, take them up. If it's also shoulders, you can keep them at the heart or at the hips. Breathing. Hands to the heart if they're not there already. Twisting over to the right side. Hands to the heart. Steady gaze forward. Here we go. We're going to step forward. Knee. And release. Second side. Right foot steps back. Adjust the hips. Bend the left knee. Hands either on the hips, heart, or over the head. Hands to the heart if they're not there, and twisting over to the left. Gaze forward, hands to the heart, and step it forward. Release. Beautiful. That was Surya Namaskar B and B1. Right, we're going to open the left foot back. So I'm just switching sides so you can see me all along. Hands to the heart. Again, you can keep the hands here, and from here, just open to Warrior Two, hands stay at the heart. Or if it feels comfortable, take the hands over the head, open Warrior Two. And now your shoulders are working, but your hands are completely released. So if the hands are at the heart, you can remove them and do a few circles with your hands and wrist and fingers just to warm them up. If your arms are stretched out, you can open, close. You can even move the fingers while you're doing that. Just creating some movement, gentle, whatever is reasonable for you here. Try to turn the palms upward and do the same. This is really great for strengthening the areas that may be a bit tender at the moment. We're going to reverse the warrior. Again, either with the right arm up or the right hand can be at the heart. That's fine too. Just don't put pressure on the left arm. You got to use a little more core. That's okay. That's good for you. Back to the Warrior Two. Beautiful. We're going to come to extended side angle. So I'm placing my forearm on the right thigh. But again, you can even just let it dangle down. Or if your shoulders are not injured and you want extra work, both arms parallel to each other. Come back up to the Warrior Two, either hands at the heart or stretched. Straighten the front leg. Reach forward for triangle, Trikonasana. Try not to place the right hand even, you can just dangle down somewhere towards the ground. I've got long arms so they reach the ground. For most of us, they'll just be hanging somewhere, if possible on the outside of the right leg. Left arm is either up or just on the lower back. Keep opening the left shoulder. And come up. Warrior Two. Straighten the front leg. And step it to the front of your mat. Nice. Here we go. Second leg. Stepping the right foot back. Adjust the hips, coming to Warrior One. Once more, hands are either at the heart or overhead, your choice. Look at the left hand or keep them at the heart as you open Warrior Two. Try to keep the front knee bending. And here we go, some movements with the hands. If it feels good for you, you can this time do more movement with the wrist. I'm going to do more wrist circles while working the legs. Okay. Pause. And then reverse the warrior. Remember, it's okay to keep the left hand at the heart if that feels better, or to let it go over the head. Not much pressure on the right hand. It can even just hang down. Breathing. Back to the Warrior Two. Into extended side angle. Right arm over the head, or right arm at the hip, right hand at the hip. Left hand can stay on the thigh, or maybe parallel. Breathing. Back to the Warrior Two. Straightening the front leg. Reach forward, left hand hangs. Right arm either up to the sky or on the hip. Open the right shoulder. Keep the breath alive. Back up to the Warrior Two. And you can shorten the stance and then step it to the front and release. Open your feet about hip width apart. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And as you forward fold, maybe hold the elbows, or if it's too much, keep the hands on the hips. And just let the head dangle. You can bend the knees a little bit, allowing the legs to stretch, the lower back to stretch. But keeping the mind steady, Zen mind. Full of presence right now, just this moment. Part of what sometimes we do when we get injured is we actually realize we have some body parts that we normally really want and need. And we crave for the healing, which is good. As long as we're not lamenting the injury, the whatever it is that's not functioning. But ideally, focus on the present, focus on good vibes, right this second. And you will both be getting more out of the other poses, as well as send healing wishes to whatever needs to be healed. Release the hands, bend the knees a lot, roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae, head and neck last. Good. We're going to open for Prasarita Padottanasana. So open one leg to the side, doesn't really matter which leg you open. We're going to start with the hands on the hips. Inhale, grow tall. Pull the elbows a little bit back behind you towards each other. Lengthen the spine. Keep the hands on the hips as you forward fold. Prasarita Padottanasana B. If for some reason you have tight hamstrings or even injured hamstrings along with your hands, just bend the knees a lot. That's okay. Hang in here. You guys are doing great. Inhale, slowly coming all the way up. Ooh, shorten your stance just a bit. Ooh, got dizzy for a moment. Bend the knees. Hands in front of you. I'm going to go horseback riding. Okay, ready? So it goes like this. Tuk-tum, 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 tuk-tum. Or if you've seen Monty Python, you can do the coconuts, okay? Here we go. Down and up. Down and up. Down and up. Not enough? Down and up, heels up. Down and up, heels up. Down and up. And keep going. A few more. Hopefully you'll start to feel your thighs soon enough. Beautiful. And let's become a goddess. Take the feet a bit wider. Lower the hips down. Either hands on the hips, heart, or if you can, elbows shoulder height. If you're not burning yet, lift the heels. Maybe a little shaking will come. Just 3 more breaths. Release. Shake it all away. Come to the front. Good job. Pyramid or Parshvottanasana. I'm going to hold my elbows. If that's too much, hands on the hips. Okay. Take the right foot back. Adjust the hips to the front. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, back up. Steady your mind, right knee forward in the air. Straighten the leg, hold. Release. Second side. Left leg back. Hips adjust to the front. Inhale tall. Exhale slow and steady coming down. Work your bandhas, belly tucking in. And listen to your breath. Inhale slowly, rising, coming back up. Steady your gaze, left knee forward. Straighten the leg. And release. Nice, everybody. Shake it all away. Samastitihi. Nice, everyone. We're going to go now into a squat. So take the feet about hip width apart. If you can, keep them parallel. If it's too much, you can open the toes a bit to the side. Start by bending the knees and lower the hips down to knee height. Stay here, and if it's easy, you can try and lift the heels. If not, don't worry about it. Breathing. You can keep the hands on the hips, knees. I've got them very, very lightly touching each other. No work. Sending some nice healing energy to my hands, wrists right now. Lower down. Heels may be up. Maybe they lower all the way down. Try to take the elbows to the inside of the thighs and really create length. Open up the chest, lengthen in the spine, relax the head and neck. Relax the hands down to the ground. If there's room, for many of us this is it. Allow the spine to round, let the head fall. And then it's almost like you're walking the hands forward, zero pressure on the hands. Still, all the weight is down at the hips. Just letting the spine round, the head fall. And then slowly let your hips come down to the ground for Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. So if it's a bit tight on the hips, please do sit on a block. Feet together, we're opening the feet. Again, no need for really the hands here. You can place the hands, if you like, on the knees to help the knees go down. I'm placing palms up. If you don't need that, you can also bring them forward, forearms down, really zero pressure on the, not even the shoulders. It's all should be feeling in the hips. You can let the head go. Maybe finding your breath. Anytime we stay a bit longer in a pose, I like to take it as an opportunity to meditate. And meditation is not this big fancy word. It simply means being present, having awareness of all that's happening. And can you be aware right now of where you feel the stretch in the body? Noticing how your breath is moving. Beautiful. We're going to slowly make our way back up. We're going to take the legs and open them wide apart. And again, maybe in this one you need a block, even if you didn't have a block before. See what feels appropriate for you. Try to move forward. If you can't move forward, you can kind of just, sit on a block or bend the knees even a bit. If you can, lower the forearms forward. Or just be up. Or like Kasha is demonstrating, you can use a block for your head and let all the arms relax completely. Great option. If your head reaches the ground, same. Slowly make your way back up. I'm going to go over to the right side. You can either just turn a bit to the right. We're not going to do a forward fold. We're doing a side stretch once more. So my arm is barely doing anything. I'm really just going and stretching the side of the body. If your shoulder's fine, maybe bring the hand behind the head. If all is fine, reach for the foot. And again, I'm doing nothing with my hand. It's just kind of resting there. Slowly inhale, come up and switch sides. Again, the hands, whatever feels reasonable for you, behind the head, on the hip, over towards the foot. For most of us, when we have hand, wrist injury, as long as we don't put weight, we're doing okay. As long as we don't need to do something too strong with the hands. So all these should be fine. And like I said, even the hands, just leaving it on the hips, you'll still get a nice stretch. Back to center. Beautiful. We're going to turn to lay down on the belly. So turn around and just simply lower down and lay down on the belly. Chest up as you inhale. Keep the hands on the ground, palms facing up. Lift the legs. Shalabhasana, Ashtanga style. Lower down. Move the hips a bit from side to side. Lift back up one more time. Lower down. Bend the knees. Move the feet from side to side. We're going to press it back into a child's pose. Knees wide apart. Stretch yourself forward. Whatever feels comfortable for you on the shoulders, hands forward or arms alongside the body, both are fine. We'll take the pigeon pose, so we're going to bring the right knee forward and set up for pigeon. And then you can be on the forearm, you can have a block under your head. If you can, release all the way down. Zero pressure on the shoulders, arms, hands. If it's too much, please place a block or two underneath your right hip to support you. We're really relaxing here. If it gets too easy, you move the foot forward. If it's too intense, keep the foot back closer to your hips. No matter what, coming back to just being aware of your breath. See if you can allow your exhales to deepen now. Really a lot longer than your inhale. And with every exhale, envision that whatever pain, whatever discomfort, suffering you may have, imagine it coming out, leaving your body, as if you can exhale and evaporate whatever it is that causes you suffering. So slowly begin to come up. We're simply going to switch sides. So if you need to do less hands, you may want to bring the left leg forward first and then the right back. And you can do it almost with 0 hands. Definitely no weight. Set up wherever the foot needs to be. Remember, don't bring the foot too far forward unless that feels the appropriate thing for your hips. The correct alignment is the place where you can feel enough stretch in your hips, but it's not too much, not too little, and there's no sharp pain, in this case in the left knee. Once you found your position, begin to lower down, wherever that may be. And onto your fists, onto your hands, onto a block. Just try to find complete surrender. Slowly begin to make your way out of the pose. And we're going to bring the right foot forward to meet the left. Shake your legs a bit. Lean back a tiny bit. And if you can, try to either hands forward. If it's too much, again, you could keep them resting just wherever it is that feels reasonable for you. Try to lift the legs up. Knees bent is okay. Maybe both arms up. Breathing. Release down. Just come forward, lengthen the spine a bit. We'll do this again. Lean back. Lift up. Remember to breathe. Remember to smile. Release. One more time, lengthen the spine. Last one. Lift up. Navasana, the boat pose, or as I like to call it here in the land of plenty hammocks in Guatemala, the self-sustaining hammock. Release. Lengthen once more. Nice, everybody. We're going to go into our back bends. We'll do them on the knees today. So we have an option to do no hand and no shoulders. So I'm coming on to the knees. And of course, if you want to go for the full camel, etc., there's no problem. Make sure it's actually a good teaching. Your quads are really working. You shouldn't be resting on your hands, whether they're injured or not. You should be completely using your legs. So you can keep them on the hips. And let's start with the first one, please, everybody, on the hips. Inhale, grow tall. And exhale, just begin to warm up the spine. Go into a little back bend here. If it feels better for your wrist to reverse and place the back of the hand on the hips, feel free. Maybe the head stays up. For a few of us, the head will go down. It's completely not a must. Inhale, come up, and relax in child's pose. Slowly coming up, second one. Again, you can do the same thing. I find this actually to be harder than the hands down on the heels. If you want, you can either tuck the toes a little closer to reach. And again, like you can see, I have my fingers on the heels, but I'm totally having no weight because my hips are moving forward. If I move back, I'll have weight. So hips moving forward. If it's easy enough, untuck the toes. Inhale, come up, and exhale into child's pose. Remember to deepen your exhales here. Let everything recover. And then here we go. One more. Inhale, come up. You're going to come up to the knees. And by all means, I highly recommend you just repeat one of the things we've done so far. Keeping the hands on the hips or taking the hands to the heels would be plenty. If you have very deep back bends normally, your neck is fine. You can add weight by simply, and your shoulders are fine, by simply taking the arms up. And as you back bend, let the arms, hands hang over. But again, I really, if you've not done this or any deeper back bends, please stay with the previous versions we've done. Here we go. Inhale, come up. And one more time, child's pose. Knees apart, arms maybe alongside the body, whatever feels good for you. Slowly coming up. Take the feet forward in front of you. So we're going to take a supine twist to make it lovely and no arm hand work. So we're going to slowly lower down. Cool. You can take the arms to a T if you like. We're going to move the hips to the right, knees to the left. Knees can be together or in eagle arms. If it feels reasonable for you to place the left hand on the knees for extra weight, doesn't need to do anything, no work there. Gaze will go over to the right side. And with every exhale, feel how your shoulder relaxes down. Especially your right shoulder. Deepening the exhales. And maybe even sending healing wishes, healing energies to any part of your body that needs healing today. Slowly coming back up to center. I'm going to do the other side. Hips move to the left. Either knees together or wrapping the left over the right. Maybe the right hand on the legs. And then eventually taking the gaze over towards the left hand. And really finding that deep relaxation, softness, and almost a feeling from inside of this joyful existence for all that is working, for the fact that you're breathing. Slowly coming back to center. I'm going to try and roll back and forth to come up to sit. Have a seat, please. Take the left leg forward, right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Janu Shirshasana A. If you rather take it in half lotus, fine too, whatever works for you. And just surrender down. Once more, hands are completely relaxed. If you even need a block for under your head, you're welcome to use it. If you need to bend the left knee, that's okay too, if the hamstrings are, for any reason, being intense right now. Inhale, slowly come up, and let's switch sides, please. Again, Janu Shirshasana A is fine, is great. Half lotus if that works for you. Whatever is good for you, right? Belly in, lengthening. If you've had enough years you've lived, you kind of recognize the cycles that the body goes through. From being a ninja to being less of a ninja to having good days and a bit less good days. But if we can remember that any day we're alive, any day we're back on the mat, practicing, modified or not, is a good day. Inhale, come up. Let's do a little Paschimottanasana, both legs forward in front of you. Once more, sitting on a block is fine. If it feels a bit intense, I'm going to start with my knees bent today. Belly and chest lengthening, slowly forward folding. If for some reason your hamstrings are also not feeling well, or you know anybody else with that problem, we do have a practice that is dedicated towards the hamstrings and legs in general. Belly tucks in, softening the breath. A feeling of gratitude for all that's working, for this practice. Maybe even gratitude that we do have another video of no wrist, no hand. It's more no wrist, a different sequence than this one. So look it up as well. We'll put the link down in the comments so you can practice with that one as well. Slowly make your way back up. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a block stand. So we're going to take a block. Thank you, Kasha. And we're going to place the block underneath the hips. If for some reason you're feeling all great and you can do a headstand or a shoulder stand instead, fine. But I really want to give us the opportunity to have no hands, no shoulders. And then from here I'm going to take the legs up to the sky. And this feels quite nice already. We are getting the inversion feeling. I've taken the lower level of the block. Kasha has taken the higher level of the block. Might feel more like a shoulder stand. You can choose again. Whatever feels appropriate for you. All options are wonderful as long as you're practicing, breathing, and maybe even smiling. Really allow yourself to relax deeply. Slowly lower the feet down to the ground. Keep the block underneath. If you have the high setting, maybe lower it down to the lower setting. Feet together, knees to the side for Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle. Hands can be anywhere you like them, doesn't really matter. Maybe belly and chest, maybe just on the ground. And allow yourself to fully surrender. This is the beginning of our Shavasana. If at any point this is a bit too much or you're just ready for Shavasana, you can move the block out, stay in Supta Baddha Konasana without a block, or simply straighten the legs as well for the full Shavasana. Awareness of breath, a sense of healing in the body. Shifting into Shavasana, removing the block. Slowly rolling back up to your seat. Awareness of breath. Awareness of all that's working in your body, which leads to a feeling of gratitude. Gratitude for showing up to this practice, for doing the work. No excuses. You're amazing. Maybe bring the palms together in front of the heart. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Please let us know how this was for you, if it was helpful. And then share it with other people so it could be helpful for them as well. Remember, there is another practice for no wrists, so please practice that one as well. And until we see you again, thank you very much and namaste.